Hello students, I am Roshan Kumar. I will continue class of nanotechnology. In the last class, we discussed about the nanotech in which a material is converted into small particles ranging from 1 nanometer to size of 100 nanometer. So there are multiple options of the size, and we can use this size as per our requirement, है ना? So there is choice available to use such nanoparticles for the various purpose. Many size may be and many type of uses may be. So what happens when we convert a bulk material into the smaller one? The effect of this is what? There is change in electrical conductivity, magnetic properties, fluorescence, and overall capability. So nano particles develop a new electrical conductivity, fluorescence, magnetic permeability, and chemical reactivity. So this is the result of the nanoparticles, of the nanotechnology, you can say. Now I will discuss one more example and its use, that is allotrope of carbon based on the arrangement of carbon atom. You know, in the last class I told you there are 3 allotropes of carbon. One of them is what? Fullerene. Other one is graphene, and next one is carbon nanotube. So what is a fullerene? Fullerene is basically, you can say, a ball-like structure made up of carbon atom. This is a ball of carbon atom in the hexagonal form. 6 carbon atoms. So this fullerene is like a bucky ball. In general, we give a bouquet of flowers, bouquet of different materials, you can say artificial flowers, you can say. So like that of, this is a bouquet ball, or it is a bouquet ball in shape which is mainly carbon 60. It is also treated as carbon 60. So there may be prelims question that what is the material of fullerene. So it is what? Carbon 60. Now, what is the overall nature of this fullerene? How do you can say it can be used? Since it is a strong material, this is a basically strong material, so it is used to make a composite panel. In general, many doors, many gate, many window gates are there, that is of composite metal, and there is a metal along with the fullerene. So fullerene is basically a strong material. It is a strong material used for making aluminum composite panel or metal composite panel. Aluminum composite panel. And this composite panel is used for the door, it is used for the window door, it may be used for the many type of surfaces over the wall. So on the wall surface it is also used because of its strong conditions, and it has very strong electron accepting capacity. So because of electron accepting capacity, it is used to increase the capacity of solar panel. Solar panel capacity can be enhanced using this fullerene. So another use is what? Used in increasing efficiency of solar panel. Efficiency of solar panel because of electron accepting capacity. Because of electron accepting tendency. It has capacity to accept electrons, and because of electron accepting tendency, this is used for the purpose of making efficient solar panel. So it is very useful. Thereafter there is graphene. So graphene is made up of basically graphite. It consists of what? Graphite. This one. And this is a transparent material. But it is very strong. It is 100 times stronger than the steel. So when you use the sheet of this graphene, that is also made up of carbon. In general, carbon is not so strong, but if it is in the graphene form, the capacity of this graphene is 100 times stronger than the steel. So this is a type of semi-metal, and that semi-metal has very good characteristic features of electronic things. So it is very useful in the electronic materials. Graphene, it is made up of graphite. How it looks? Which looks transparent. This material is what? Transparent. And this is 100 times stronger than steel. So a carbon could not be so strong, but if it is in the graphene form, then it is what? Very strong. And it is a semi-metal that has excellent electronic properties. So you can use in the electronic goods. It is a semi-metal. Semi-metal with excellent electronic properties. So for the electronic gadgets, है ना, which needs strength, electronic gadgets that need strong body, for that purpose we are using what? Electrographene. So it has very wide use, you can see. Now third one is carbon nanotube. So when the sheet of graphene is rolled to make a rod-like or cylindrical structure, sheet of graphene is converted into the cylinder. So that consists of what? Carbon nanotube. So carbon nanotube is in the shape of cylinder. It is in cylindrical shape. So it is called what? Tube. But it is made up of what? It is made up of sheet of graphene. So carbon nanotube is the sheet of graphene folded in form of cylinder. It is folded in form of what? Cylinder. Now it is basically lightweight, and that is why it is very suitable to make the bulletproof jacket. It is also used to design the spacecraft because it is very light in weight. And this carbon nanotube, it has high electrical resistance, and it is also used to supply the medicine at the particular target in the human body. So targeted drug delivery, it is also possible because of carbon nanotube. So what about the next properties? It is lightweight. That is why used for spacecraft design. spacecraft design. It is also suitable for bulletproof jacket. It is also very suitable. Now, it has high electrical resistance. Electrical properties can be resisted. So you can use as an insulator for the electrical walk. Hana? This can be used for the insulator, for the electrician, for the electrical walk in the powerhouses. And this carbon nanotube is also used for targeted drugs delivery in the human body. In the human body, it is possible to send the drug, and that is drug is on the desired place, on the suitable place. So this is all about the allotrope of carbon. Simple carbon is because of the nanotechnology, because of the converting the large carbon material into the smaller particles where surface area increases, and because of that electrical, magnetic, fluorescence, reactivity, all the changes, and it has wide spectrum of uses. So there are many more uses. Applications of nanotechnology. So in the nanotech, you are using as a biofertilizer, used in the field of agriculture. It is also used in SRAM. RAM is basically random access memory. So SRAM is based on the concept बच्चों अभी नैनोटेक का एप्लीकेशन हम स्टार्ट करते हैं नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी इन इंडिया से। नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी इन इंडिया। तो ये 2007 में it has started nano mission in India. In the year 2000, government has started nano mission, and under this mission many institutions are working. So among them, dedicated institution is what? It is the National Center for Nano Fabrication and Nanotechnology. This is the dedicated institute which carry out research, and it is IIT Madras has developed a technology to decontaminate arsenic from water. You know, arsenic is a highly toxic material, and after the use of nanotechnology, IIT Madras is able to remove the arsenic from the water to make water drinkable and usable, you can say. Similarly, IIT Delhi developed self-cleaning technology for textile industry. It is for what? Textile industry. So it is also used. So these are the basic achievement, you can say. And in the research paper publishment, India has got third position after the US and China. So we are in the mission mode to carry out more research and more applications that may be useful for the different field. So it has remarkable achievement, you can say. Now, applications in the sector of agriculture and food. First I am trying to tell you its application in the field of agriculture and food industry. So there are nano fertilizers. First of all, it is what? Nano fertilizers that are used in agricultural farms to increase the productivity overall. And there are titanium oxide that behaves as what? Titanium oxide is antimicrobial agent, antibacterial agent to preserve the food for the longer time. And this is the nanotech product, is antibacterial, hence used to preserve food material for the longer time. There are nano emulsions. So nano emulsions are also useful for the purpose to reduce the bacteria. Nano emulsion. is used for antibacterial purpose. On the agricultural produce that we try to store, for the longer time, so in that case we use nano emulsion. This is also based on what? Nanotechnology. Thereafter, in the sector of energy, in the energy sector, right now we studied some of the allotrope of carbon, and that allotrope was useful to enhance the solar cell capacity, and that is what? Fullerene. So fullerene is used to enhance solar cell, or you can say it is photovoltaic cell capacity that we studied just few minutes ago. So there are again flexible thin sheets, and such flexible thin sheets are used to produce wind power. Flexible thin sheets, or you can say it is the high tensile strength and one of the toughest material, that is the carbon nanotube, that you can use for the wind power generation. Carbon nanotube, that is having very high tensile strength and one of the toughest material. Carbon nanotube, highest tensile strength known, and one of the stiffest and toughest material that is used to generate, used in generation of wind power. So in the energy sector, there is again great contribution of the nanotechnology. Thereafter, in the field of healthcare and medicine, in this field, there is a diabetic pad used to regulate, used to examine or monitor blood sugar level. So in the diabetic patients, we use a diabetic pad that is made up of nanotechnological system, and so it helps to regulate the blood sugar level. Thereafter, there are nano chips and nano detectors. Nano chips and nano detectors. So both these have different uses. Nano chips are used to check the blockage of arteries. On the other hand, it is the nano detectors used to find out, used to prevent the heart attack. This nano detector used to check or prevent heart attack. And this one is used to prevent or open artery blockage. Artery blockage is in fact removed by the nanochips. Thereafter, nanosponges. So that nanosponges are used for the purpose to remove the toxins, the poisonous chemicals, the poisonous substances that we accumulate in our blood. Thereafter, nanoflares. So cancerous cells are detected in the bloodstream. If a person has blood cancer, that can be detected by using what? Nanoflares. Thereafter, if you try to identify the genes, or you can say the DNA, you try to identify, for the purpose of that, there are use of what? Nanosponges or nanopores. So, next use is nanosponges remove toxins from the blood. Nanoflares detect cancerous cells in bloodstream. And at last, nanopores are used for the purpose of what? Gene identification. If you want to identify gene, there is role of what? Nanopores. So this is also called what? DNA identification, or it is also called DNA sequencing. So these are the applications of the nanotechnology. Now in the field of electronics and communication, last is in the field of electronics and communication. This is the last application. So I written some time before about the nano RAM. RAM, you know, random access memory. Nano RAM. So it has high storage capacity of data in comparison to the general random access memory. So storing capacity of the data is very high in the nano RAM, and this is a type of what? Nano RAM is a type of carbon nanotube. It is a carbon nanotube. We discussed in detail about the carbon nanotube, and this is the RAM made up of what? Carbon nanotube. Thereafter there is nano optomechanical static RAM. Nano optomechanical SRAM. So SRAM, static random access memory, it is the conventional form, and in comparison to this memory, it has very high processing capacity. It has high storage capacity, and it has what? High processing capacity. So SRAM is basically static RAM. is RAM is basically static RAM, but this nano optomechanical SRAM, nano optomechanical SRAM, it has very high processing capacity, very high processing capacity. This is very high. So these are the uses of nanotechnology. Now there is nanoethics. So what do you mean by the nanoethics? In brief, we know about the nanoethics. So whatever you are using, it has impact on the society, and we must try that there should not be any adverse effect on the society of any of the technological uses. So among them, I am trying to tell about the silver nanoparticle. Silver nanoparticles are used in the socks. So the use of nanotechnology, which has effect on society, is nanoethics. So if it has not any adverse effect, so it is the good kind of nanoethics. But if there is adverse effect of this nanotechnology, then you can say it is not good nanoethics. So I am telling one of the example that nano silver particle. So in nano silver particle, it is used in the socks, and that kill the bacteria, and because of that there is no smell, there is no bad smell, bad odor from the socks. This silver nanoparticle is also used in the perfumes, in the deodorants that you use, and those deodorants also kill the bacteria. So silver nanoparticle kills bacteria in a socks to prevent bad smell, also used in deodorants or a spray to kill bacteria. So this is good. If we are using, it is good for us, this is protective for us. It protects our health. But thing is that these nanoparticles are accumulated in the drainage. Nanoparticles, silver nanoparticles are not destroyed in the drainage system, and in that condition it is existing here. So if it is eaten by an insect that is called mayfly, mayfly is an insect. Silver nanoparticles in series, and this mayfly is capable to eat this, and the mayfly is further eaten by the small fishes, and that is bluegill. This is the one of the kind of small fish, and this small fish is eaten by further big fish, that is bass, one of the big fish, and this big fish is eaten by the human. Human ate finally this fish. If mayfly has suppose, this insect has suppose eaten 10 microgram, micro means 10 to the power minus 6, and if it is 10 microgram, then it is 10 to the power minus 6 gram. So if it has eaten 10 microgram, and bluegill suppose has eaten 10 this insect, so 10 into 10, it is what? 10 into 10 microgram. So it has multiplied by 100 times. 100 microgram chemical, 100 microgram silver nanoparticle deposit in the bluegill. Now suppose bass has eaten 20 fishes. So 20 small fishes and a bluegill has eaten by the bass. So 20 into 100 microgram. This is equals to 2000 microgram silver nanoparticle that goes to the bass, that is the big fish. This is small fish, and this is the big fish. Now if human eat it regularly, suppose in the life 100 fish, so it is 200 fish, 300 fish, whatever. So if it is 100 into 2000 microgram, this will leads to 2 lakh microgram. 2 lakh microgram. I am telling that the silver nanoparticle which we are using in the socks, which we are using in the deodorants, do not destroyed in the sewage discharge. So it is consumed by the mayfly, that is a type of insect, is further consumed by the bluegill, where it multiply. Suppose 10 insect is eaten by the bluegill, it has accumulation 100 microgram. If it is 20 fish eaten by the bass, that is the big fish, to the bluegill, it has 2000 microgram. And if it is 100 fish in the total life human is consuming, then it is 2 lakh microgram. So the chemical concentration and their adverse effect on the health of the human being and the several components of the ecosystem is there. So there is adverse effect. There is adverse effect that we found in the, is called what? Not good for the nanoethics. It is a bad nanoethics, you can say. Last and one thing, that is fourth industrial revolution. Fourth nanoethics has also impact on the fourth industrial revolution. So what is fourth industrial revolution? That is very important to know. It is the combination of, physical, digital and biological applications for industrial growth. And that is called what? Fourth industrial revolution. Physical, digital and biological. So what is a physical? What is a physical, digital and biological revolution? Among them, I am taking example number 1. It is IoT, internal other things, इंटरनेट ऑफ अदर थिंग्स, ऐसे कह सकते हैं. कनेक्टिविटी, इंटरनेट ऑफ other things. So that is what? This is your mobile phone. This is your mobile phone. And from this mobile phone, you are suppose regulating the speed of the fan. And fan is suppose regulating the speed of the AC in your house, air conditioner. So mobile phone, fan and AC, and this mobile phone is suppose also regulating what? Refrigerator. So AC and fan can be regulated together. Mobile phone is regulating, and there is application of human brain or the intelligence of the mobile phone. So this is the physical, AC and fan electrical, refrigerator electrical and electronics, and mobile phone is totally electronics, and there is use of human intelligence. So this is a case of what? Fourth type of industrial revolution of the today era, of the era which we are living. Now another example, humanoid, or you can say it is the human robot. So in this human robot there is again electronic device plus there is what? Artificial intelligence. And this AI needs what? Again electronic uses, communication uses, biological uses. So this biological use and this electronic use is again a case of what? Fourth industrial revolution. So this fourth industrial revolution is again based on what? Nanotechnological products. It may have good effect or it may have bad effect. So in brief I am telling you what is the first industrial revolution, what is the second industrial revolution, and what is the third industrial revolution. So for the purpose of knowledge, fourth one you know, fourth one I discussed, so remaining 3. First industrial revolution, second industrial revolution, then third industrial revolution. These are 3. Fourth one I discussed earlier. So initially it was use of water and steam engine that led to the discovery of engine, you can say, and mechanized production. Machine based production was first of all there. So there is use of water and steam for mechanized production, and it was the first industrial revolution. Hana? We are burning the coal, we are developing the machine. Here it is the mechanical, it means we have developed what? Machine. and later we have in fact invented the use of water followed by the use of steam, and so that mechanized production was discovered and it was mass production. But later it was electricity. When electric power was discovered and we are able to produce at the large scale or mass scale, then that is what second industrial revolution. Electrical power based mass production. So it was what? Second industrial revolution. And what about the third? Later we have generated electronics and information technology, and the production has become what? Automated. So nowadays we are using car, and that car has power steering, so it is the automated mode. This camera is working and this is in the automated mode, but earlier it was a still camera. So in the still camera it was electrical. Always we take switch on, switch off, switch on, switch off, clicking the button. So it was not automated production. But when the automated production has started, it is the third industrial revolution. So there is use of electronics and information technology. For automated मतलब अपने आप, for automated production. Correct. So what is difference between the third and fourth? In the fourth case, physical, digital and biological. What comes under the biological? I told you robots. What comes under the biological? Under the biological you can say artificial car. You sit in the car, you don't need driver, and just set the configuration, where to go, the car will run. So that artificial car is again like a human robot, it is like again a humanoid, and hence that will come under the fourth industrial revolution. So now, after some time, the era of this fourth industrial production, you don't need to call Ola and the Ola will have a human driver. Ola car will come to your house, just you sit in the car, there is no driver, so that will be a driverless car. Just your set configuration by the mobile phone or set configuration by sitting in the car, and you will reach to the destination. So that will be under the fourth industrial revolution, and today I discussed complete nanotechnology. For any query or any doubt, you can further contact. Thank you very much.